filing a lawsuit after a bicycle accident is very similar to a motorcycle accident. The person on the bicycle is going to usually be very badly injured. You need a lawyer that's going to get out there and investigate it immediately. Get out there and talk to the police, the EMS workers, the witnesses, get the video if it's available, because it's likely, or maybe I should say possible, that the vehicle that hit you, if it's a vehicle, might not have enough coverage. Is there a street defect that's responsible for the accident? Is there a pothole that was caused by a utility company not filling in their holes? If the bicycle accident was caused by some other event, maybe not a vehicle, maybe there was a damage in the sidewalk that caused the tire to go into a crevice and get stuck, throwing you off the vehicle, throwing you off the bicycle. We've had a case like that. Client ended up getting thrown off the bicycle, hitting his head, catastrophic injuries. But you're not going to know that unless you get out there. Client's not able to tell you, talk to you. Client is in the hospital in a coma. You need a lawyer that's not afraid to leave their office and get out there and investigate the scene of a serious accident. Maybe there's a sign that's missing. Maybe there was a light out. There's a whole host of other possible ways the bicycle accident could have happened. But if you don't get out to the scene, you're never going to know that. You need a lawyer that's not going to be afraid to spend the time and get out there, and get out there now. When the police report that the light wasn't working, how long do you think it's going to take the city to fix that light? When they know there was a big accident, they're going to fix it in a minute. If the stop sign is down, it's going to be replaced in a day. If you don't get out there, you're not going to know it. It's hard to say who's at fault in a bicycle accident lawsuit until you analyze the facts. Is the bicycle driver at fault? Is the vehicle at fault? Is the municipality at fault because they don't have a sign? Is the utility at fault because it had a pothole in the road or the sidewalk? Is another vehicle at fault because it passed the red light, passed the stop sign, didn't yield the right of way? There are so many possible scenarios to bicycle accident lawsuits and to motorcycle lawsuits. But the thing is, you need to get the facts, and you need to get the facts the day of the accident. You need to nail down what happened that day, because things change overnight. So the question is, can you sue for a bicycle accident if you're not wearing a helmet? The answer is yes. Now, if there's a helmet law in your jurisdiction, you need to read the helmet law. But it's possible that the helmet law is going to hold you at least somewhat responsible for the injuries that might have been prevented if you were wearing a helmet. Now, if you broke your leg, no helmet is going to prevent you from having a fractured leg. If you broke your arm, the helmet's not going to help you there either. If you sustained a brain injury, now we have to start considering what role would a helmet have played there. It may actually be an affirmative defense that the defendant has to undertake, that the helmet would have prevented your injury. They're going to need to bring in helmet experts. They're going to need to bring in doctors who are experts in brain movement, because the brain is constantly moving within the shell. And they're going to bring in experts that are going to, and they're going to recreate that the vehicle hit you from the side and you went over this way, and then they're going to recreate on how your brain moved around within the skull. So it gets quite complex. But you need a lawyer who can think of those things, who are going to anticipate those defenses. They're going to hire their own experts early on so that they're ready for those defenses. And they're not going to be found short because they didn't anticipate it. And you need a law firm that has the money to expend on those kinds of experts, and they're very expensive. But if the injury is substantial, you have to spend the money. In my opinion, in our firm's opinion, you have to spend the money. We're well financed, and we're not worried about spending the money when the expenditure is warranted. We just don't spend money willy-nilly. But if that client sustained a serious injury on a bicycle or motorcycle, they have a head injury with or without a helmet law, I'm going to get an expert in there to talk about helmet, because they might put the helmet defense in anyway. So if there's a law, the law is going to tell you how it needs to be analyzed. If there's no law, they're still going to claim that your client should have wore a helmet and that injury would not have happened, or the injury would have been much less than it was. And you need to have the experts that come in and the guys that do the graphics and the animation, so that the jury could see that this helmet would not have had any impact in lessening the injury to the brain.